Welcome to episode 3. Who would you have been? Trigger warning. This episode discusses childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, and emotional wounds. I need to tell you a story, but today it's not really about me. It's about you. Can I ask you something? Just a quick question. Who would you have been if no one had ever hurt you? Not who you became, but who you would have been. Who would you have become? I think a lot of us spend our entire lives trying to heal a version of ourselves that we never got the chance to meet. It's true for me, for sure. I'm Amy, and this is Beautifully Unhinged, where we tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable. I think we spend a lot of time asking ourselves some questions that we may not really ever get the answers to. Questions like, why am I like this? Why do I always overthink or overanalyze or apologize for everything, even if it's not my fault? Why do I panic a little bit when someone raises their voice? Why do I always feel like I am one mistake away from being abandoned, left behind? Maybe we're just asking the wrong question. Maybe a better question is, who taught me that I had to become this way? Childhood doesn't stay in childhood, and neither does the trauma that we encountered in childhood. As children, we didn't choose survival. Survival chose us. It was the only way. Some children who have dealt with trauma become invisible, perfectionist, comedians, because it's so much easier and better to make people laugh, and it feels safer than letting anyone else see us cry. Some become caretakers because nobody ever took care of them, and some become independently fierce because asking for help only has led to disappointment. I'm going to ask you another question. What role did you play in your family dynamic? Were you the fixer, the peacekeeper, the invisible one, the one who always got blamed, no matter if it was your fault or not, the one who had to grow up way too fast? Maybe you were all of them. Maybe you carried a little piece of each one. I know what role I played in mine, and it was pretty much all of them. I learned that adults couldn't always be trusted. I learned that being quiet, keeping my mouth shut, was certainly safer than speaking up or speaking out. I learned that surviving was definitely more important than how I felt in the moment. And those lessons followed me long after I left my childhood behind. Because trauma does not stay where it happened. I mean, it follows you into your relationships. It follows you into your marriage. It follows you into your parenting, into your friendships, into your careers, into the way you speak to yourself, and certainly into the person you believe you are. Have you ever noticed that it's hard to relax? Do you ever feel guilty when you're resting? You find yourself apologizing for things that aren't even your fault? Do compliments make you uncomfortable? It's hard to take praise. Do you expect people to leave when things get hard because you don't know how to talk through them? Do you keep waiting for the other shoe to drop when life even feels perfect? If you're nodding your head, you're definitely not alone. And more importantly, There is nothing wrong with you. Nothing. I think that something I've learned over the years anyway is those behaviors aren't character flaws. They're really just survival skills. And at one point in our lives, they protected us. But what protects us as a child can oftentimes imprison us as an adult. Healing isn't about pretending those parts of you don't exist. It's thanking them for getting you this far and gently teaching them and relearning that they and you don't have to work so hard anymore. Now you're safe and you have survived that trauma, and it is time to live and it is time to thrive. Before I end today's episode, I want to ask you guys 3 questions, and I want you to sit with them, marinate in them, journal about them, even share them in the comments if you're comfortable, because I truly do read everything that is posted on here. First question is, who would you have been if your childhood had been different? Number 2, what survival habit are you still carrying today? And number 3, what's one part of yourself you're finally ready to let rest? I genuinely love to hear what you have to say. I have a feeling that there are a lot more beautifully unhinged people listening than any of us realize. And maybe, just maybe, healing starts when we realize that we are not alone. We have a community. If no one has told you today, I am so proud of you. Not because you've healed, not because you have figured it all out. I am proud of you because you are still here. You're still trying. You're still showing up. You're still choosing hope. And sometimes that is the bravest thing you'll ever do for yourself. If today's episode spoke to you, help us reach someone who also might need to hear it. Like this episode. It's that simple. Leave a comment. I promise I really do read every single one. Share it with someone who may need the reminder that they're not alone. And if you're new here, I'd love it if you would subscribe and become part of this community. Every story that I share here has one purpose, and that's to remind someone that healing is possible and that you're not alone. Until next time, be kind to yourself. You've survived so much. Now it's time to learn how to live and thrive. Stay beautifully unhinged, my friends. Life isn't about having it all together. It's about learning how to shine through the pieces. Because every scar, every broken piece tells a story. And every story deserves to be heard. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.